Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce myself. I am Chira Rochivit, fishery biologist, professional level from Fishing and Fleet Management Division, Department of Fisheries. Today, I would like to present my study on the topic is the implementation of Port State Measure Agreement (PSMA) for tracking illegal, unreported, and unregulated IUU fishing in Thailand. I would like to begin with the outlines. The outlines consist with rational objectives, results of the study on PSMA implementation in Thailand, and the conclusions and recommendations. I would like to start with the rationale. Thailand was awarded to recognize IUU fishing by the yellow card from EU in 2014 to ensure the creditability and maintain the seafood market, to intend to comply with international instruments. This step was the reforming of fishery sectors. Therefore, Thailand attributes the national policies to be the backbone of tracking IUU fishing problem. The main policy including Thailand National Plans of Action to prevent, deter, and eliminate IUU fishing, Marine Fishery Management Plan (FMP), and also attributes the new fishery law called Royal Ordinance on Fishery and its amendment. In addition, the loyal Thai government attributes the IUU-free Thailand policy to sustain this plan. According to the policy, Thailand acceded to the parties of PSMA in May 2019 and attributes the mechanism for PSMA implementation. This rationale are to achieve the sustainability, responsibility, and creditability to maintain the #1 global seafood market. The objectives to study on Port State Measure Agreement in implementation in Thailand and to study on the problem of struggle on PSMA implementation in Thailand. Go to the result. According to the national policies, Thailand strongly intends to become the party to PSMA. Thailand prepared the legal framework and establishment of Royal Ordinance on Fishery in October 2015 and attributes the subordinary law in January 2016. After the setting up of the law and regulation, Thailand acceded to be PSMA party in May 2019. In addition, electronic PSM system was announced to use for a centralized system to submit the AREP and required documents. After implementation, we found that some gap of law and regulation. Therefore, we amend that law and attribute its amendment in 2017. To fully PSMA implementation in Thailand, the PSM linked and processing statement endorsement system, we known as PPS system, was fully enforced to enhance the traceability system throughout the chains of custody in 2021. Currently, we have used the Psma platform to be the tool for investigation and analysis vessel behavior by AIS system. This is the development of PSMA in Thailand briefly. We will continue the detail in the next part. The 4 key mechanisms of Thailand for implementation of the PSMA consist with the 4 keys. The first one, policy and legal frameworks. The second, monitoring, control and surveillance or MCS scheme. The third is electronic traceability system for imported fish and fishery products. And the last one is very important one, cooperation with interagencies, third country, RFMO and international organization. The first mechanism for implementation of the PSMA is the policies and legal framework. The backbone of Psma implementation in Thailand was national policies, including Thailand NPOA RUU, FMP, and RUU Fleet Thailand policies. It shows political views of Thailand for tracking RUU fishing. From policy to implementation, the new fishery law was established Royal Ordinance on Fisheries in 2015 and its amendment. Why we amend? Because the Section 95 did not include other activities of foreign flag fishing vessels such as receiving ice, field, labor, etc. It mentioned only fish landing activities. The amendment of Royal Ordinance on Fishery was established to fulfill the adherence of minimum requirements under Psma. Also, subordinary laws were established to regulate designated ports for foreign flag vessels, document to prove the legality of catches, and area reform as well. The procedure for control the foreign flag fishing vessel under the Psma in Thailand include 3 steps: before port entry, vessel inspection at port, and offloading control. To start with the first step, this step is a very important step to check all documents that the ship agent submitted, the AREP, and required documents to prove the legality of vessel and their catches by Psma team under Fishery Monitoring Center or FMC Thailand. Importantly, the behavior and the list analysis of the vessel were cross-checked by use the Automatic Identification System or AIS via the Psma platform. The list assessment is reported to inspector for vessel inspection at port to clear the list that FMC filed by AIS tracking that we call the AREP analysis report. This step also ensures again by the verification with flag state and regional fishery body such as Pacific Island Foreign Fishery Agency or FFA. We also share our consideration on port entry to the stakeholders, including Marine Department, Customs Department, and ship agent through the PPS system. In case we do not receive sufficient information to prove the legality, the DOF officer has the power to deny the port entry under Section 95 of the Royal Ordinance on Fisheries. To go to the second step is the vessel at port. Vessel inspection at port. The vessel inspection at port is the step of physical check to ensure that the vessel that submits the AREP is the same vessel by checking external ID and document checking on board. The inspector will use the information in the AREP analysis report to cross-check the lists that are found in the report. Then inspector issue the port inspection report and also report that to the Marine Department, Customs Department, ship agent, and flag state to know about the inspection results. If all is clear, the inspector will allow the vessel to offload the catches. The last step is to control the offloading. The inspector at port will take measures to control tuna from port to processing plant or cold storage, which will have sizing and sorting process. Then they report the actual weight and species back to the Department of Fishery for issuing the import movement document within the last part of import control. The actual weight and species will share to flag state of the carrier and fishing vessel to support them in fishery management. The third mechanism is the electronic traceability system. For the Thai flag fishing vessel, we use the Thai flag catch certification system for control for all chain of custody of the fish from Thai flag fishing vessel. However, for the case of foreign flag fishing vessel, we use the PPS system that consists with the three modules. The first one, EPSM, for submitting error and control at port. The second, Fishery Single Window or FSW for import control. And also the last, the Processing Statement Endorsement System for control at the processing plant. This system can ensure the transparency throughout the seafood supply chain from sea to plate. The last mechanism, the cooperation with interagency, third country, RFMO, and international organization. The last mechanism is very important for Thailand. We enhance the cooperation for Psma implementation in many ways and agencies. For the interagency in Thailand, we did cooperation document with Marine Department, Custom Department, and Thai Maritime Enforcement Command Center or THAIMEX. For the third country, RFMO and regional body, international organization, Thailand work closely and intend to participate with all to enhance cooperation and collaboration. We created many networks for fighting against IUU fishing. This is for the last part of my study. According to this study, we found that the Department of Fisheries was able to fulfill the minimal requirement under Psma. However, we still found the gaps. For the internal gap, we found that some agencies such as the law and the regulation of that agency are inconsistent with the Psma. Also, the second, the integrated procedure of law enforcement agency is not yet have it, and they should establish the integrated procedure of the law enforcement agency together. In case of external gap, we found that lack of the international cooperation in the verification of the legality of the foreign flag vessel and the catches such as the national focal point. The last slide. This part is the last part, the recommendation. To fulfill the gap that we found, we would like to propose the recommendation for closing those gaps as follows. For internal factors, Thailand should update policy, law, and SOP in line with international agreement, RFMO, and partner country regulations. Also, an auditing team from the Department of Fishery headquarters should be established to maintain the standard of inspection. For the external factor, it should update the list of national contact points of flag state, coastal state, and port state to enhance cooperation on the information exchange, and also should enhance the participation in international meetings to create more effective channels for information exchange between state and international organization. That's also my presentation. Thank you for your attention. If you have any question, please do not hesitate to ask me. Thank you very much.